So welcome back, everybody. As you can see, I'm heading out to the horses. Oh, we passed the Caltrans blockade. They had 3 big-ass orange trucks taking up the right 3 lanes for absolutely no reason. So we took the canyon to get around those morons. More of your taxpayer dollars sitting on the side of the road collecting double time for absolutely no reason other than to block up traffic. And then traffic slows down to 45 miles an hour because this wide sweeping turn that you could take probably comfortably at about 150 miles an hour in any vehicle ever. Everybody's like, oh, I can't see around the turn. I guess I gotta go slow. Idiots. Don't know how to change lanes. God, I'm so done with Southern California. So anyway, a lot of times what I do when I sit in traffic that gets me like amped up is I listen to AM640 KFI. I love John and Ken. They're on usually around, the 2:30, 3 o'clock when I normally get off of work and I'm driving home. Rush hour in Southern California starts at like 2 o'clock. So I'm stuck in the thick of it. Normally it takes me about an hour to get home from 17 miles away. Luckily, I've been working at a spot in Orange. We're building some apartments that are like it's like 3 miles from my house, but it still takes 20 minutes to get home. To go 3 miles, 20 minutes. That's Southern California. But anyway, so this week John and Ken are out on vacation since it was after Christmas. And they had Harvey Levin sitting in for them, talking about anything from, mental health in America. Dude, can you stay in your lane, please, idiot? So, anything from mental health care in America to the Trump impeachment, gun violence. And, honestly, even Harvey's a little bit far left for me, but I agree with probably about 80% of what he says. We definitely have a mental health problem in America, but I don't think anybody's putting it together. Here he is talking about gun violence or mass shootings specifically. He's talking about mass shootings, the homeless crisis, and mental health in America. And I'm like yelling at the radio. I'm like, dude, if you put all 3 of those together, it makes sense. So in Southern California, or actually in California in particular, we have doubled our homeless population in 2 years. Mass shootings were at an all-time high in 2019. There have never been so many mass shootings. And granted, a mass shooting is described as any 4 people shot at one particular time is considered a mass shooting. Granted, a lot of that is, drive-by shootings, people who kill their wife, their 2 kids, and then themselves. That's considered a mass shooting because that's 4 people technically shot. It's all that stupid shit. But the mental health aspect, God, this lady still can't stay in her lane. I just beeped at her 12 seconds ago for coming into my lane. She still can't maintain her lane. So, but if you take into account the number of suicides, the number of mass shootings, the number of homeless people, you wrap all of that into our mental health problem, and then it's like, well, all of that seems to make sense. So what happened? What had happened was about 15, 20 years back, they made it against the law to give somebody treatment, to make them get treatment. So now what happens to all these mentally unstable people that you can't force to have treatment? They become homeless, or they shoot up a school, they shoot up a gun-free zone. I think that was the big thing, that like all these callers that were calling into Harvey, And they were all just like, they were all bouncing right around it. But the one thing that they didn't do was they didn't think about the fact that, hey, maybe all of these separate issues that we're talking about are related to mental health. You know, Lord knows all the Democrats in Congress have some serious mental health issues lately with Trump. And they've been trying. And they got nothing. They still got nothing. So crazy drunk ass Nancy. I guess we're just gonna hold the papers of impeachment until the Senate. What? Until the Senate becomes Democrat controlled? What the hell is wrong with you, retard? Oh my goodness. It was imperative to national security that we impeach the president immediately. We can't have some long, drawn-out trial like the Republicans wanted, where we can call witnesses. Nope. We need to take a vote today before the 2020 elections, before the Dems lose the House. And for what? Now they don't want to submit the articles of impeachment because they know Trump's going to be vindicated, aka acquitted. And that just makes them crazy. Oh, the other thing that Harvey Levin was saying was digging up dirt. That's what the Dems love to call that phone conversation between President Trump and President Zelensky. Trump was withholding aid so he would dig up dirt. That's not at all what he did. He specifically told the president of Ukraine, I'm going to give you all of this aid, this $500 million, but I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look into claims of impropriety, potentially corruption, that Joe Biden levied against himself. I don't get it. I don't understand how the Dems can take President Trump. We got the transcript. Trump clearly said, hey, I'm going to give you this money, but I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look into corruption by the Bidens, because he said this on this video. It's all there in black and white. So, but the Dems, all they did was they just twisted it. They busted out their thesauruses and they said, hey, what's another word that we can use for corruption? Oh, let's see, corruption, impropriety, dirt. Dirt, yep, let's use dirt because, you know, when you want to dig up dirt on somebody, that can mean anything from they cheated on their wife to they didn't return a library book on time and never paid the fee, to they didn't pay a parking ticket, to they got off with a warning because the officer noticed that their last name was similar to the vice president. It could be anything. Dirt could be anything. Dirt could be he lied to his mom. Dirt is not what President Trump wanted President Zelensky to investigate. President Trump specifically asked for President Zelensky to investigate corruption. Now, I don't know what your term of corruption is, but if I tell you, hey, I'm not going to give you $1 billion in aid unless you fire the prosecutor that's investigating my son, if you have me on tape saying that, there might have been some corruption there. That might have been construed. I could see how that could be conceived as corruption. So, but the Democrats, they just want to, you know, they want to change the words. They want to twist it to fit their narrative. And Harvey being a lawyer is such bullshit that he's like, oh yeah, no, I was completely against the Trump colluding with Russia. He was like, Trump colluding with Russia, no, that wasn't an impeachable offense. This guy's supposed to be a lawyer. I'm not even a lawyer, and I know that if you collude with a foreign country to rig an election, that's impeachable on the highest magnitude. That's treason. Talk about high crimes and misdemeanors. And Harvey Levin had the balls, the uncircumcised balls. Actually, no, he's Jewish, so he probably circumcised. He had the circumcised balls to sit there on the radio and go, yeah, no, I wasn't for impeachment because of colluding with Russia. What an idiot. So anyway, obviously, you know, Harvey Levin is suffering from Trump. Look, I got snow on the mountains. Thank you, global warming. So obviously, Harvey Levin, like, that's the 20% about him that I disagree with when it comes to Trump. He's so angry that Hillary lost or that the Dems lost, whatever, that he can't see the forest for the trees. That was my week. I worked Monday and Tuesday. I had Wednesday off. I told everybody to go. I told everybody to leave me alone. I'm gonna hang out with my horse. And that's what everybody did, so that was nice. And then Thursday, Friday, back to work. You know why? Because apartments need to be built. Because Trump has done so damn good for the economy. We can't build apartments fast enough to accommodate the growth in Southern California. I just wish that the California government would build the roads in the manner in which I am building apartment complexes. Right now I am managing 3 multi-million-dollar construction projects by myself, and I'm going absolutely out of my mind. Because unemployment is so low, I can't hire enough guys to take the load off of my chest. The unemployment rate is so low that people are making enough money to where they can actually live in the cities in which they work. Because that means higher. Before, it used to be everybody lived in the Inland Empire, everybody commuted to Orange County. Because unemployment was low, hey, you take whatever job you get. Nowadays, people are like, dude, unemployment's 3.5%. I want to raise. I want to be able to get an apartment right down the street. I want to cut out my commute. And employers are like, all right, well, hey, you know what? We're making all this money, so of course we're going to pay you all that money. This is my exit, 6th Street. I got snow on my mountains. Thank you all so much for watching and for listening to me rant. We'll pick this up on horseback in about 10 minutes. Bye.